Knoxxx on the track. Zeus, Don One, Rude Boy, Quill, The Gift, and yours truly, Fred Knoxxx. I'm 1 in a million with $1 million flow. Fred DiBiase got the power in it though. If it's a problem, let me know, or I suggest you let it go. Cause it ain't worth the problems that be knocking at your door, homie. Please don't make me hurt you. Disrespect the boss, ain't get treated like Virgil. Cause when I write raps, it's beyond your price tag. He's a waste of man.
Welcome everybody back to Around Da Bloxxx with Mike Knoxxx. This is your AEW Revolution pay-per-view review. And this is like my third, maybe fourth AEW review. And I have to do this because it was a big night in professional wrestling. It was a night that I personally feel that I don't care if you're an AEW Marcasite, if you're a WWE Universal Chronological Psycho fan, whatever you are, if pro wrestling fan is not put in that category, then you don't belong. Because last night was a night that was a pretty big night. Now, whether you felt it was a big night, whether you felt it was, how should they say, an important night in professional wrestling, now that determines, or, we have to talk about. But for me, I was confused, mixed, and excited about all the things that happened last night in this pay-per-view. For those who don't know me, my name is Mike Knoxxx. And indeed, I spell my name with 3 X's. Because frankly, I am hardcore. And why? Because I say the things your favorite podcaster, radio host will not say. I say the things that you're afraid to say. So I am the voice for the voice of the voiceless. Follow me on all my social medias, wherever social media is sold, which is absolutely free. Right there, you see how to spell it. It's Mike Knoxxx. But listen, guys, it's a quick summary of this AEW pay-per-view last night. Kenny Omega defeats Johnny Moxley. Sting and Darby Allin beat Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Christian Cage, the instant classic Christian Cage, is in AEW. We're going to talk about that. Scorpio Sky defeats Cody Rhodes. Pentagon Lance Archer, that's the monster Lance Archer, Max Caster, and making the appearance, for those who don't know, so I tell you all the time, go to Twitch, wherever, damn it, people, we're on the internet together right now, looking at me and talking and probably sharing this. If you haven't, please share it. Should know who Ethan Page is. Now, I put the big who, because like a lot of fans, we thought that was going to be the person that was the signing in the match. That's how it kind of seemed that it was, said it would be. But it wasn't. But Ethan Page just shows up. We'll talk about ego. And trust me, I got a big ego. Is why I like Ethan Page. My favorite AEW competitor, Hangman Page, defeats Big Money Matt Hardy. Miro and Kip Sabian, which is a strange combination, beats Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. And I'm just going to say this before we move any further past that part of the match. I hate Chuck Taylor. I think he's trash. That's just me. And I don't ever diss wrestlers. That's the one I have to diss. Then the women's go at it. I know I can't pronounce them. It's okay. Hikaru Shida and Rio go at it. She defeats Rio, rather. The Death Triangle Casino Tag Team match. Death Triangle, that is, wins the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. The Young Bucks defeat MJF and Chris Jericho. And Dr. Britt Baker and Maka defeat Thunder Rosa. And listen, Dr. Britt Baker is a star. I'm sorry, they wouldn't accept her own doctor's note. So disrespectful. Why won't you take her doctor's note? She's a doctor. So if she writes a note, it should be good for you. Why wasn't it good for you? But let's talk about this, guys, because this pay-per-view, and I've seen different reactions. And of course, we're going to see that. It's professional wrestling, right? When it's wrestling and it's something to be talked about, we're going to disagree to disagree. That's why I try to make sure we agree to disagree. But we cannot always say no. You have to watch with open eyes. Different set of lenses, as they say. Have a different advantage point. Now, you can like what you like and don't like what you don't like, and that's perfectly fine. But last night, I'm going to go. Dr. Britt Baker, I love her. I think she's a star. She doesn't have to be the greatest in-ring competitor. But I personally think she has controlled and ran the women's division in AEW, and they should strap it to her. Simple as that. I know people have to understand, like, AEW is that wrestling alternative to what we used to love that we do not get fully in WWE. So I understand why you want to love AEW. But you have to understand, as pro wrestling fans, it's about stars. Okay? It always has been. I know we live in a world full of, we have mental health issues and everything goes on, and we got to protect everybody. And I'm okay with that. It's hard for me sometimes to do that, but I understand you got to protect everybody. So I get it. I get you wanting Thunder Rosa to be that girl. I get certain things. But Doctor, I'm sorry, say your name right. Don't say Barack Obama. You say President Barack Obama. Okay? So Dr. Britt Baker is a star. They should strap it to her. That's what I'm looking to see. That's what I want to see. That's who I think should be out there doing it for AEW. So, okay, match, whatever. But opened up the show, which I thought was great, was the Bucks of Youth, the Young Bucks, taking on Chris Jericho and everybody's favorite AEW heel, MJF. What's the saying? It's unpopular opinion. I like MJF. I think he is a star. But I think some of the antics that he does should get bored down a little bit. Then he can be himself. And I love how he's trying to create himself. People think that he's like The Miz. That's the most disrespectful thing you could ever say to The Miz. Okay, is that MJF is like The Miz. Because he's not. He's Miz-like, but he's not like The Miz. See the difference? He's Miz-like, but he's not The Miz. You cannot compare the two. Okay? The Miz is an A-lister. MJF is a C-lister. He can get to an A-list category. He really, really can. It depends on AEW and how they continue to build this guy's character and career. And right now, he's on a good path. But this match, for what it's worth, I hate the word. And I saw it all over a lot in this pay-per-view. You know that infamous word, that B word. There's words. You shouldn't use the F word in wrestling. Shouldn't use it, because it's not. And you shouldn't use the B word in wrestling. I'm going to say it one time only. You shouldn't use the word botch, because you can't do it. And things happen. It's entertainment. It's live. It's not choreographed. It is choreographed, but it's live. So mistakes happen. So, but I did thought it was kind of sloppy in this match between the Bucks of Youth, MJF, and Chris Jericho. And I'm glad the Bucks of Youth won this match, because you got to get to that stage where MJF turns on Jericho. It has to happen. The slow build has been there. So it's time for the payoff. It's been quite some time. So maybe a little longer, but then pull that trigger and let MJF become that star and go over on Jericho. It's time for Jericho to start. I believe I was in an Xbox party last night, mentioned MJF, or I saw somewhere on social media that MJF should take the MVP approach to wrestling at this point. And I agree with that. It's nothing against Chris Jericho. He's one of the greatest wrestling minds in professional wrestling history. But he has to take a step back, in my opinion, inside the squared circle. The Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, to me, and I am a mark for Battle Royals, I wasn't a fan of it. And here's my reason. And this is me probably not being a fan like some of you guys are fans, right? For me, I didn't enjoy it because I didn't know a lot of the guys. And I'm just going to be honest. The ones I knew was cool. I love to see a friend of the program. If you're not listening to on Tuesdays in Orlando or wherever you are, Florida Man Radio, every Saturday at 2 p.m., the La Spaza show. And we had the one half of the Varsity Blondes himself, Flying Brian Pillman Jr., on the program. And so it was pretty cool to see him in action, right? It was pretty cool to see, the Nightmares and certain guys, certain elements in that. But overall, again, kind of sloppy to me. But the Final Four was amazing. And the Death Triangle, they are my favorite thing in wrestling. You cannot say enough about Pac. I'm sorry. That's a ball that got fumbled that you shouldn't celebrate in the end zone by the WWE and letting that brother go. And Ray Phoenix, I'm going to say it, right? Because one day we hope Tony Khan, right? Because Vince has to go. I love him, but, you know, the torch has to get passed. If Rey Fenix was in the WWE, he has the potential to be bigger than Rey Mysterio. Because the things that he can do in honor of Rey Mysterio and beyond, like, people get better. He tight-roped, not 2 steps, not 3 steps. That brother went 3/4 of the way across the ring on the ropes with a super high kick knee. It was super fucking impressive. I'm sorry, Mama, I cuss on this National Wednesday. Shout out to all our women. Since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, our game from a woman, it's time we learn how to heal for our women, trying to kill for our women, be real to our women. Happy National Women's Day to all my women that's in my life. How about that? Shout out to Tupac for those lines. That's not mine, that's Nietzsche's. But Rey Fenix is that man. This match, the Final Four, was awesome. That's what made this pay-per-view, was the final match. I absolutely adored it. Now, the women's title match between Shada and Ryo, it was pretty good. I love the Japanese strong style wrestling if I'm used to it, I've seen it. It's not for me. Nothing against that. And I know what you're going to say. What do you mean? Oh my God. Yes, it's great to see. But if I'm not invested in you, if I don't know you, I will always stick by what I say right here and right now. Wrestling is storyline. Hashtag wrestling is storyline. I don't know them. Is that fault of mine? Maybe so. I'm not new to this style, this New Japan Pro Wrestling and IWGP. They've been around. I'm 45 years old. I've seen it all. I just prefer certain style of wrestling. Shout out and respect to me. He rest in peace, Jim Cornette, and what he brought into professional wrestling. Okay, he gave me something to do on Saturday nights at 7:05. Okay, to keep me out the streets at times. So I appreciate him for that and all that he done in the NWA. But I've seen these kind of matches between these girls, and it was a great, hard-hitting match. Just wasn't for me. Then we got a very confusing tag team match to me. I'm getting to it. I'm gonna get to this stuff soon. Sabin and Miro versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. I admit, I was not over at first on Orange Cassidy. I am completely through the moon with this guy. He is absolutely amazing. I'm okay and fine to admit that. Okay? Don't like Chuck Taylor. I think he's trash. I do. He reminds me of CM Punk's best friend. All right? I won't say his name. You know who he is. From Chicago also. All right? Just not a fan of him. That's just me. I'm going to get to your comments in a second, guys. Got the double background feed there. Turn that down. And I apologize, but because somehow it's not working up in here right now, so I'm going to have to read them off my phone the best I can, but I will get to them, I promise you. Thank you for tuning in. Share this. But I don't like Chuck Taylor. I just don't like the guy. And I'm completely through the moon since MLW with Kip Sabian. I'm sorry. That guy should be where they have Hangman Page at, in my opinion, where they're putting Scorpio Sky, who we're going to talk about in a second also. In a second, I am over on Kip Sabian. When you look at that guy, you see wrestling. That's what I mean when I say there are great pro wrestlers and there are guys who look like great pro wrestlers. Kip Sabian looks like a great pro wrestler. There was something about Robert Roode. It wasn't that he just had a throwback feel to him when you saw him in TNA, right? It wasn't that throwback feel that Arn Anderson-like spine buster. It was like you saw a little bit of Triple H in him, and he looked like a star. That's Kip Sabian. But this match in the finish was weird. Very weird. And Miro just looks, I'm sorry, when I say the night was sloppy, and I won't say the B word, I said it once, I won't say it again. You know what that B word is? It was kind of sloppy in the ring. I said watching this match, he forget, and you can pick on WWE for all he wants to for getting rid of the slap, which is stupid, but whatever. I don't care. I personally get tired of seeing these cats slap their thighs. I do. I'm not saying this was right for getting rid of it, but all the time, like with the super kick party with the Bucks of Youth, right now, all the time, it was like a slapstick party, not a super kick party. But Miro was slapped. The way he slammed Orange Cassidy, he could have really hurt him. Like, I get that he may be too safe sometimes, but sometimes I think other promotions get too sloppy. And to me, last night was kind of sloppy. But then my favorite, not my favorite part tonight, but my favorite guy in AEW, Hangman Page, defeats Matt Hardy. I did like the match. I thought it was a good match. I thought Matt put on a very good match. Then we had the ladder match where everybody kind of got faked out. Right? Kind of got faked out, but not really got faked out if you follow wrestling. Now, yes, I tweeted on Facebook, but if you want to use whatever I used that day, I don't remember what I used at the time. Okay. But ego, I got a big ego. Such a huge ego. Ethan Page is he's an up and comer. Okay. He's an up and comer. And for what it's worth, they could have said CM Punk. They could have said RVD. You should be happy they didn't say Kurt Angle. Okay. I had heard that it was Kurt Angle. Okay. They were supposed to sign, and I heard it was RVD. Those are two people that I heard that were the possibilities from people that I'm kind of close with. But signing Ethan Page shouldn't be that big of a surprise because they have the partnership with Impact Wrestling as it is. And Impact Wrestling right now, they lost their women's champion in WWE. They're kind of selling off assets like they're fucking Michael Jackson right now. So let's just hope they still stay afloat. Shout out to Tommy Dreamer. Hope we can help. They listen to Tommy Dreamer more, like he helped Monster Factory out and get them back where they had their, Hardcore Wrestling or House of Hardcore. I'm sorry, House of Hardcore for Tommy Dreamer's crew. But Lance Archer, this match was insane. Okay, and I will say this: this was the best ladder match I've seen in quite some time. And I thought when I seen Scorpio Sky come out, I said, in that moment, not before at all, I didn't think about it in that way at all. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I saw him come out, I said, this guy's going to win. And why did I say this guy was going to win? Because anybody know? Do you know why I thought he would win this match? Come on, you should know. Didn't Bobby Lashley just win the title? So isn't it good to be progressive? And AEW's been progressive. And we've all just said in the black community, shout out to KME, right? That when will AEW give you an African-American star? Scorpio Sky is that guy. I just was, for me, it felt a little tainted because it felt forced because of Bobby's decision or them having Bobby win. That's all. It's one of them things you think in wrestling or you hear about in wrestling. Oh, it was at that moment they changed the finish. That one I don't know. I think they might have changed the finish. If I'm wrong, congratulations to Scorpio Sky. He grabbed the brass ring. Great ladder match. Great finish. Great thing to do. But who they did introduce, I'm a Christian. I don't go to church, but I believe, you know. I have a son. His name is Christian. Where that name came from? The instant classic Christian Cage signs. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Is this really that big of a signing? And I'm going to be fair here. That's why I gave you the disclaimer. I have a son that I pretty much kind of named after Christian. Okay? But how big is this? And I'm going to continue to say this. I got to play that WWE card because that is what my heart, well, they don't have my heart no more, but my history lies with them. And that's saying you make fun of what they do and get mad when we justify what they do. And he does have how they promoted it, which was good about it. Unfinished business in the ring because he didn't go out on good terms, right? So it's good to see him there. But is this bigger than if it would have been CM Punk? I think it's bigger than if it had got Kurt Angle. I'll be honest because Kurt can't perform in my opinion right now. It'd have been bigger than RVD, who I love RVD, but not the RVD that I used to love so much. Christian Cage, on the other hand, has some things in the tank, and we all saw it at Royal Rumble. But I just asked you the question: is this your king? Is this your king? This who you wanted? And I love Christian Cage, but as he pushed the needle, I personally don't think so. I hope I'm wrong. It's going to be good action. That's why I'm going to let that live and lie right there. Then, listen, this is where I got to keep the WWE card going a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for these two moments right here. You're going to sit here and tell me that Lucha Underground ain't the reason for all this as I deemed it. You guys call on and fix how you want to fix it. Say what you want to say. The WWE Cinematic Universe that was stolen from Lucha Underground. AEW said, y'all think we can't do production, huh? Y'all think we can't produce something like that? Oh, WWE's the king of production. They are. But we're going to go ahead and put our toe in this water and let you know we here to stay. What a fucking... Sorry! That was fucking dope. That was fucking dope. And I say this because I'm always real. That's why I call my name Mike Knoxxx, because I am hardcore. I say the things you won't say. I have never been a Taker guy. Never. I cheered for him twice in my entire life. Once was my first WrestleMania, the end of an era match. So I screamed, Undertaker, Triple H, who's my guy? That's my guy, Skip. Triple H. Sting can't do the same things he used to do. Just like Taker can. It's why I thought Taker could have stayed around. Why the premature, you used to it. You guys get with a woman, and you already know what happens. I'm sorry, check this stain in your pants. WWE did that, letting Undertaker go, because you could have used, during this pandemic era, the cinematic universe with him, because the Boneyard match was great. Well, you let that go, so what? Guess what? Tony Khan said, I want to do that. And yes, people in wrestling and entertainment in general, you insert what you want to insert. Apple, Mac, Apple, Android, PlayStation, Xbox. Insert whatever you want to insert. DC, Marvel. Everybody copycats. It's a copycat world. And they did it amazingly. First, let's start from the beginning. The introduction of Sting and Darby Allin has to be all-time top 5 that I've ever seen. And I don't care that it was in a cinematic universe, because wrestling is hashtag storyline. I keep telling you people that. It's entertainment. Without entertainment, you cannot have the matches like the women's and Japanese strong style kind of matches you have. You have to have something that entertains other people and other people's fancy. You may put A1 steak on your steak sauce. I think that's personally nasty. If you get a real good steak, a real good, like porterhouse, you don't put A1 steak sauce on it. Now, if I got like a shoulder steak, I'm going to have to put A1 steak sauce on it because it's a cheap-ass steak. But if I got a porterhouse, I got a nice-ass ribeye, Skip, I don't need no goddamn A1. Okay? But this was dope. This was amazing. In so many levels. David Raymond, yeah, you said it. Raymond, the way he spells it is 2 different Raymonds, but that's how I spelled it. I want to be a wrestler. Go for it, my brother. Go for it. Do you. Go for it. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. Nobody. Okay? So, then the match itself. Now, I do think Brian Cage's ass. And I do think Starks' ass, too. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Cage is a walking steroid, but it's okay. He's a big-ass dude. But Ricky Starks, the wannabe Dwayne Rock Johnson, I'm sorry, I'm not over him. But Darby Allin, who again I wasn't over on, I thought was, what the fuck is this shit, AEW? I was over on, I got catching up to him before this match, but definitely, if I was not a fan of his, him being with Sting and Sting absolutely passing that torch, changes all of it. It changes all of it. I loved it. How they threw Darby Allin with the swinging of the swing joint. They threw that mother through the glass. How he went up the wall and tried to do the back senton shit he does. Yo, this match was incredible last night. But you know what match wasn't incredible last night? The main event. Now, I get it. I'm 45 years old. I've seen this match before in my life. I've seen it from Terry Funk and Cactus Jack. I've seen it from can't get the boy's name in Japan who came over for a while, the NWA. Okay, him and Terry Funk. I've seen Terry Funk and barbed wire matches. I've seen a bunch of barbed wire matches. I've only seen about 3 or 4 exploding bomb barbed wire matches. And I'm able to suspend my disbelief like I do with everything else, with how they hit the ropes and it got set off. It's supposed to be. What you thought, they were going to have real fucking bombs in there? Come on, you dummies. But what I thought, I just saw better matches from these guys. I've seen more brutal matches from these guys. I just have. This, to me, was more about Kenny Omega, which it should be. right? That's the rocket. That's the rocket they strapped to his back to go and run with Kenny Omega, being that's their guy, Kenny Omega. He had to win the match, right? My man Moxley. I'm a Moxley guy. I gotta go be a daddy for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it just failed. I thought it failed. I thought as much as Christian Cage coming back wasn't a big enough person to push the needle, although I'm a fan of it, kind of fell flat. I thought the match fell flat. Yeah, it was brutal, I guess. But again, if you've seen their other matches, and I'm not comparing them to even other barbed wire matches, but even they've had another barbed wire match than this before. Okay? I've seen better matches from these guys. I've seen better matches from these guys on AEW than this match. Just wasn't a fan. And then the end, let's keep it a bean. I'm bringing it back in that WWE Universe world. If they would have felt that bad at the end, y'all would have been shitting on it everywhere. However, I give the night, I do belt grades, I give it a 3.75 out of 5. The execution was there. I just felt that it didn't deliver. In the ring, absolutely. Ray Phoenix and my man Pac stole the show. Dr. Britt Baker and her thing, even the Japanese Strong Style match, that match was insane. Hangman Page and Matt Hardy, Scorpio Sky, them in that match, like Cody Rhodes just signed the waiver to say, kill me. Cody just said, let me just I want to die. Cody's like, I don't even want to be a wrestler. I want to be this promoter. Just kill me now. He's like the new Shane. He's the Shane McMahon right now of AEW. You know, that's what he is to me. But before we get out of here, we're going to read some of these comments. But yeah, I gave it 3.75. And thank you guys for all tuning in and everything else. Thanks, Big Mo, tuning in. I fell asleep. I was confused at why people thought the ending was so horrible. Well, I thought the ending was so horrible, Jason Michael Campbell on Facebook, because I really thought they had, you could tell there was something planned. There's no reason why somebody comes down to cover somebody up for protection when it just popped from the corner, less than Kane's pyro popping from the corner. So yeah, that's why it was a horrible ending. Not the winner, not even the finish, not even the pinfall, none of that. It was that far. And to have the referee dressed up in that and don't light his ass on fire at some point was also ass. How about the ending, Mike? Well, I just told you that one, Mad Dog. Thank you. Just got to it. I'm clicking up on them now, guys. Reading off my phone. All right. I'm hearing people keep saying they botched the ending. I hate using the B word. I should have proofread this first. They did. I actually got to where MAJ. Hold on, say I actually got into where I like MJF, supposed to have been, as well as know why, but do. Don't know why, but do. MJS is a B- lister. Once his earnings working full develop, he'll be a B lister, and this is why he's and on his way to being an A-lister. Mo_Eden. Now that's what I said. Yeah, he can be a star, Mo. He's definitely on the verge of being a star. It's just they gotta let him go. They gotta let him go. And I meant to say Jim Crockett. Thank you. I said Jim Cornette. Thank you for correcting that. Jim Cornette is still alive. I say Jimmy Crockett Jr., the Crockett Cup. And to me, the reason why I actually love professional wrestling is because of the things that he done in his organization, Jim Crockett Jr., and being a fan with him. Got to see Paul Walter Horser. I'm hoping he's in season 4 of Cobra Kai. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. See what else we got right here. Michael Smith saying, as long as it wasn't Lesnar, it didn't matter to me. Now, damn it, I want Lashley versus Lesnar. We should get Lashley versus Lesnar, but we'll keep those for the AEW fans that are tuning in for the first time. We're not doing too many AEW views, but I'm doing one right now, Michael Smith. Thank you for that, though. Les, Lucha Underground, Dennis chimes in. Listen, people, Lucha Underground changed the game. And I want to say this, like, WWE does have superior production, but last night tells me that AEW, it's all about money, and we know they got money. So congratulations to them for that match. Vila Spaza, let me sleep. No, wake your ass up. Oh, let me speak. Oh, how am I supposed to let you speak? I don't know how to let you speak. I don't know how to do that. I'm streaming on StreamYard. You can see that. You know where I'm streaming from. Keep talking. I can chime in here. You should have warned me you wanted to be a part of the show. How about that? You know my number. As soon as you see me go live, matter of fact, you know how to get in here. So just go ahead and get into the stream. I got about a couple minutes left. You still listening? Go ahead and join La Spaza. I put you on. I put you on. You don't want none of this. I'm going around the block with Mike Lawns. Sidebar, I gave C2A 3 out of 5. You know what? You finally watched the movie, Mo. You finally watch. You don't watch shit. And you don't get that a 3 out of 5. Somebody should smack you right now. Right now. If I was next to you, I'd smack you in the back of the neck for such a rude assessment of that beautiful, brilliant black movie. Dennis chimes back in. Oh, he wrote a lot. Okay. Here's my only question. I did not watch the pay-per-view. I watched AEW while I'm working in the background. Should I have watched it on replay? Absolutely, Dennis. It's a good pay-per-view. It's good. I just think the biggest fake out of the night to me was the hype they hyped about who was coming in. And I take nothing from it being instant classic Christian Cage. Just to me, doesn't push the needle. Has Renee had her baby? No, she has not had her baby. It was the fireworks for sure. Yeah, it was the fireworks. They didn't have the fireworks pop off. That was definitely the reason. Christian is not that big of a pop. Let's go, Victor. Like it very much. I agree. All right, guys, listen. I'm going to go ahead and get my black ass up out of here. Thank you for tuning in. I had to go around the blocks with Mike Knoxxx, and you cannot go around the blocks. It's my favorite time of the season, guys, as we head to the road to WrestleMania, which means every pay-per-view, every big event in professional wrestling from here until to the ending of the Granddaddy of them all, I will be here the best I can be. And I hope you continue to join me. I'm getting ready to pack this stuff up, get up out of here soon. So hopefully the new studio will be that what I've been saying I got prepared. You know, shout out to my man Dice Man, the Z is Silent podcast. Look for us to be on that, doing big things coming soon as well. His room to me is we ideally think alike in certain things. So if you've seen anything of his setup, you don't know him, but y'all should get to know that man. But I can't wait to get my new setup set up for you guys to see my vision and what I have. But I thank you guys. But listen, I did it. 3 out of 5. What title but I want to give it? You know, it's their company. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 TNA titles. At first, I had all this hype about this title. When I first seen it, it was a piece of shit looking title, and now they've improved it. And that's how I felt this pay-per-view went. It started off very good, disappointed me, got good again, and then let me down. So that's how I feel about this pay-per-view. 3.75, I'm sorry, out of 5 TNT championships. But if you liked it, hey, like my man Jeremy Johnson say, comment below. Let me know. But listen, I'm going to get my ass up out of here. Listen, do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me and don't love God. And do not know that Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's going to pay. But the $1 million man always gets his way. $1 million man.
Yeah. It's like the illest posse cut right here, man. Sean Watts on the track. Zeus, Don One, Rude Boy, Quill, The Gift, and yours truly, Fred Knoxxx. I'm 1 in a million with $1 million flow. Fred DiBiase got the power in it though. If it's a problem, let me know, or I suggest you let it go. Cause it ain't worth the problems that'll be knocking at your door, homie. Please don't make me hurt you. Disrespect the boss, ain't get treated like Virgil. Cause when I write raps, it's beyond your price tag. He's a waste of man.